Ooh, there's over 100 Pokemon to collect from the Deluxe Pass, the Go Pass in Pokemon GO for the 30th anniversary event. And today we will catch all of them together and see how many shinies we're gonna get. Alright, so hi to all of you guys. So yes, let me go to bring my screen up. And first things first though, since I'll be catching a lot of Pokemon, this is the one that I'll be working on because it expires in one day and I'm already done. I'm already on the last stage. There's only 100 ranks in total, not like 200 or more than that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put down a star piece. Alright, and I'm gonna claim a few things first. So let's go ahead. I mean, the star piece is down. Just to show you guys here. Okay, so first thing first though, let's go ahead to the Go Battle League. I'm gonna claim this, just a little bit of Stardust there since we have increased, and also we're gonna go ahead to claim this first. We're gonna claim all. Alright, so we claim everything. So yeah, let's see that. Okay, we have 133 Pokemon left to catch. I thought it's supposed to be 151, but okay, obviously minusing Mew, so that's supposed to be 150. And I've already caught my MEWTWO. For those of you who saw in the previous video, I got a shiny MEWTWO. So yeah, it's supposed to be 134, so we missed like what, 26 Pokemon. So yeah, that is interesting. But anyway, for those of you who want to see the MEWTWO, that's the only Pokemon that I caught from the Go Pass, and it's this particular one that I caught. It's a shiny with 14, 13, 15 IVs. You can see at the bottom, caught through a Go Pass. So that's the free MEWTWO that you don't have to spend money to get, and it's free for everyone to get, but it's not guaranteed shiny. I was lucky enough to get myself the shiny, so great for me. I don't think there's anything else I need to claim already, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and start catching the Pokemon. So we got 133 encounters to do. Let's see if we can get ourselves at least one shiny. First one, let's go, Bulbasaur. That was very slow. Okay, I'm going to catch all with Great Balls just to make it easier for me also. I'm going to fast catch everything and also tell you guys how I feel about the event. The event for the 30th anniversary. I know a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Like some people were saying that it's really good. Some people were saying that it is rather a huge struggle because you know, people were actually going after the Ultra Beast, myself included with my group yesterday, and you know, we had to walk a lot because the wormholes were very far apart. They were not very close, and it's not like a raid day, and there were like so many other Pikachus, alright, in the raids that we had to venture out very far. I mean, it kind of relieves the time that I used to play back in 2017 where we had to go around to actually look for raids, and not like the current situation where sometimes raid day and every single gym will have it. But you know, I feel for those communities that do not have as many gyms as us over here in Singapore, so I know it can be a struggle to actually try and do the Ultra Beast raids. But of course, if that's your target only for the Ultra Beast and not the Pikachus, then that's the struggle. But of course, there were people who were happy to go after Pikachus also. And the craziest thing is that, you know, like, to be able to see every single Ultra Beast that have been released coming out for one particular event is something that's really good, because a lot of people, especially my new members, they were very happy to be able to register the Ultra Beast to their Pokédex. In fact, all the Ultra Beasts, especially if you remote it for the ones that are in other regions, in just one single day. So in the past, you know, we had to wait for weeks and even months to be able to complete basically the Ultra Beast decks. So, but now, you know, like, we can do it in one day, and hence why this particular event is pretty interesting. A lot of people are getting very excited, even for the WoW legendary Pokemon. Honestly speaking, for myself, I wasn't too excited for it because I literally have every one of them, including the shinies for all of them. So like, it wasn't as exciting for me. But I understand, from a new player point of view, you know, it's very exciting to see certain mons that you have never seen before coming out from the incense, and in fact, you can get the shiny also from the incense, which is great. Yeah, so I totally understand like both sides of the spectrum, because I do talk to, you know, players who are new to the game. In fact, yesterday we had one player who came back to the game just last week. He played in 2016, but he stopped after a year in 2017. Then he came back to play in 2024. Then after he stopped, then now he came back just last week, and he actually decided to join our group. His name is actually also Brandon, same name as me. And when he introduced himself to me, he was like, "Oh, hi, I have the same name as you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I said hi, twin. So we had a really nice conversation, and you know, like to see him come and join the group, I'm really happy. For those of you who are in Singapore and want to play together with a group, to actually raid together, to actually do Dynamax, Gigantamax battles together, definitely come and join our groups, PoGo SG Fam. Alright, we have 5 groups running in Bedok, in Bishan, in Hougang, and also in Bukit Batok. And one more in the central in stadium, which right now we are putting it on temporary on hold because there's some issues with the train line, the circle line, to actually head towards the stadium itself, and it becomes really troublesome for a lot of people to actually travel there. For me, I listen to feedback from my group to actually determine where and when we should host the meetup, and in fact how we should host the meetup too. It's very important for me to actually know what's going on and how people are feeling about the meetups that we organize, so that we can optimize things for everyone. We try our best to do that, but it's not always the case that we can actually fulfill everyone's requests. You know, sometimes we try our best. Some people are asking me to even go to the very northern part of Singapore, to the western part of Singapore to host meetups, but as of now, I don't think I have the resources to do that. I mean, I'm only one person, and for me to go around and ask my other leaders to sacrifice not hosting in their groups, it doesn't make sense. But whatever the case is, back to the topic about this particular event, the 30th anniversary event. You know, I think it's a very nice event. However, you know, like people were saying that also the Pokemon were not as spread out in terms of the spawns. You know, you have to go to the biomes, etc., to get some of the spawns, which I feel is also nice personally, because it becomes like an adventure. They can go around to get the other biomes mons instead of just playing in your own area, if that makes sense. You know, like Pokemon GO is all about exploration and going out to different biomes, to like the beach, or even the city, or even to like other places. Allows you to explore. Unfortunately, my Tauros isn't shiny. That's the only shiny that I'm missing for this entire Kanto generation, and so far, you know, we have not gotten a single shiny yet after encountering 68 Pokemon. Alright, but we are halfway through. This one will take a while to catch because it's Lapras, and Lapras catch rate is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, for the Kanto region. Alright, Dragonite is also about the same 5% for both. Another thing to talk about though, like back to the topic about catching legendary Pokemon from the wild. For those of you who didn't know, legendary Pokemon base catch rate is extremely low, and also giving us only like one chance to do it, essentially in the sense that it has a 90% flee rate. It's because of the 90% flee rate, that's why it feels very tough to actually catch the legendary Pokemon. Whereas in raids, they do not flee until you finish all your premier balls. Make sense? So if we actually have more chances to actually throw, you know, to try and catch the legendary bosses from the wild, because we have Ultra Balls, and Ultra Balls catch rate is actually higher than Premier Ball. Premier Ball's catch rate is actually the same as Pokeball. Actually, it will be easier. Unfortunately, you know, because of that 90% flee rate, whereas from the raids, when you use your Premier Ball to catch, the flee rate is practically zero until you finish your Premier Ball. Makes sense? So that's the thing that a lot of people, you know, have never known about, but I actually know about it for a long time, that, you know, the flee rate from raid bosses, or should I say the legendary bosses, they are actually 90%. And hence why even the Galarian birds, they are not easy to catch. And hence a lot of people will use a Master Ball, etc. But you know, in the future we will have easier ways to catch the Galarian bird, especially during the Gala tour in 2 years time, in 2028. We'll have that maybe even available in raids. Okay, I think we are done with the free one already, but literally no shiny. But let's go to just do a quick check in terms of Hundo. Alright, no Hundo. By the way, I didn't mention this though. I got myself a Hundo Dynamax Grookey. For me, I try and do every Dynamax battles that I do not have a shiny or Hundo of. And for me, I'm happy to get myself the Hundo Dynamax Grookey, even though there's already Gigantamax Rillaboom. But I try to do that so that I, in a way, use my MP for the day, my Max Particles. But it's something that I look forward to on a daily basis also. If I don't have the shiny Dynamax, I'll try to go for it. If I don't have the Hundo, I'll go for it. And shiny Grookey is also available, so I might as well try my luck on that too. I'll still be going after Grookeys, but I'm still working on the Hundo Dynamax Rookie D, although I have the shiny Dynamax Rookie D already. So that's that. Alright, let's go on to the Deluxe Pass right now. Okay, finally we can now claim the Deluxe Pass, and the Deluxe Pass might take a longer time to catch because they are going to be the evolved forms of the Pokemon. Alright, basically we're catching the same, you know, like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and and thank you, bro, for the interaction. And also Charmander, the evolutions now, so it take a longer time to catch because you know, they have a lower catch rate, and that's how it works. You know, like the catch rate of the Pokemon is determined by a few factors. One is the species of the Pokemon, meaning what kind of Pokemon it is. You know, like a Weedle will be easier to catch than, say, for example, a Sandygast. Alright, the next one is also the evolution stage. So like for example, if you say at the same level, meaning a research task Pokemon or a raid Pokemon, a Squirtle will be easier to catch than a Blastoise because a Blastoise is at the 3rd stage evolution. Likewise for a Dratini versus a Dragonite, the Dratini will be easier to catch than a Dragonite. Dragonite's base catch rate is 5%, so making it way tougher to catch than a Dratini. So the next one is the level of the Pokemon. So because the level of the Pokemon is determined by the CP of the Pokemon, but of course the CP is also dependent on the IV of the Pokemon. So like it's more important to look at the CP, or should I say the level of the Pokemon, which you wouldn't be able to know until you catch it and do IV appraisal and whatsoever. But the IVs doesn't affect the catch rate at all. A lot of people have the misconception that, oh, 100% IV is so hard to catch as compared to a 10-10-10 IV, you know, from the rate. I said that's not true, alright? If it's non-weather boosted, both of them being at level 20, it's the same catch rate regardless of whether it's a hundo or even if it's a 10-10-10 IV. Likewise, it becomes harder to catch from the rate when it's a weather boosted level 25. So that's why I actually dislike going after Pokemon that you know, have weather boosted, because if I do encounter a hundo, it becomes harder to catch. Alright, so that's why I rather catch it as a level 20 non-weather boosted as a hundo, and for me to be able to increase my chance of getting it, and then I spend a little bit more time to actually grind a little bit of the candies and also the Stardust, than to try and tell myself that, oh, you know what, I want to get the weather boosted one to actually save the Stardust and the candies. So I rather get you know, increase the chance of me getting the hundo when I'm doing my raids. So those are the 3 factors that affect basically the catch rate of the Pokemon. Like I said, the species, alright, the evolution stage, and also the level, okay, of the Pokemon. And you can see very evidently that the circle color, alright, of me catching the Mons right now, they are all like a bit of orangey color. You know, they are now slightly green, but of course it also changes the catch rate depending on what ball you use. So if you're going to use Pokeball, you can see it's orange circle. If I were to use Ultra Ball, it now becomes a bit yellowish. Likewise for every single Pokemon. Some of them, if you were to use the Ultra Ball instead of the Pokeball, oh, we got our first shiny. Okay, just want to show you guys another time. So this is orange over here, but if I were to use the Ultra Ball, now it changes to like slight light green. Okay, so it changes the catch rate also, but you know, like I'm saying, just the Mon itself, the Pokemon itself, to affect the catch rate, it's basically those 3 factors. Okay, but whatever. Oh, we got, oh my god, no way! We got a back-to-back shiny, guys. Literally the next one after the Venonat was the Dark Trio and it's shiny. Wow, that's a crazy back-to-back. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's not shiny anymore. Imagine if we got ourselves 3 in a row. Not getting any shinies at all and suddenly getting 3 in a row is just insane. But 2 in a row, I'll take it, bro. Wow, I cannot believe that just happened. Okay, but anyway, back to what I was saying though about the catch rate. So the catch rate, like I say, you can see that now because we are catching the 2nd stage or 3rd stage evolution Pokemon, it becomes harder to catch, even though we are still using the same ball, the Great Ball, etc. So that's why, like, a lot of people, if you want to try and catch the legendary Pokemon, especially the wild, it becomes even harder because the base catch rate are even lower than any of the Pokemon basically that I'm catching now. And on top of their 90% flea rate, yeah, good luck. So the ones that I'm catching now, the flea rate is basically at 0% because they are from the research. Any research Pokemon, they will never run away. Even if you run out of balls, they will still just be there for you to catch. So that's the good thing about catching research Pokemon, you see. They will never run away. And once you get yourself a hundo, you are guaranteed to get it, for sure. So that's the good thing about going after research Pokemon also. And that's why I also like doing research tasks to try and get myself the hundos, because the minimum IV, especially even from all these deluxe pass and the basic pass, oh, we got ourselves another shiny. There are 1 in 216 to be a hundo. Why is it 1 in 216? It's because the minimum IV is 10, 10, 10. So they can be 10 attack, 10 defense, and 10 stamina. With that in mind, alright, there are 6 possibilities for the number for the attack, for the defense, and the stamina being at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. That's a total of 6 possibilities, and 3 different, digits, different stats, sorry. So with that in mind, it was basically 6 times 6 times 6, that is 36 times 6, that is 1 into 1 6, or basically 6 to the power of 3, and that will get you 1 into 1 6 for you to get yourself a hundo. And it's the same odds even if you want to get yourself a 10 10 10 IV, is 1 into 1 6. You want to get a 10 10 11, is also 1 into 1 6 chance for any of the numbers to happen, for the IVs to happen. But basically, of course, we are targeting for hundo, and in order to get that, it is 1 into 1. So we got another shiny super. We got 4 shinies. So it looks like the deluxe pass got us 4 shinies already. The basic one we got 0. But let me know in the comment section down below, man, how many shinies did you guys get during this gold pass itself. I mean, I'm very lucky to get myself the free shiny MEWTWO, which I'll take it. Like literally, among all the basic rewards, man, my only shiny that I got was the MEWTWO, which like is the biggest win of all, like for sure. So like no complaints on that, definitely. Okay, but anyway, we are still almost done already. Like I said, you see the Rhydon, I have to try many times to try and catch it, but we finally got it. Okay, and then here we got a Seadra. So same thing though, imagine if we have 90% free rate on even on any of this second or third stage evolution Pokemon. Some of them will have already fled long time ago. Alright, but if the catch rate is very high, alright, and then the free rate is also very low, great for us. So that's the thing, you see, there's a difference between the catch rate and also the free rate. The free rate of the Pokemon is also dependent on the Pokemon itself. Something like Abra has a 99% free rate, which is the highest in the game, but the catch rate is pretty high. It has a higher catch rate than Sableye, for example, but it has the highest free rate in the entire game, 99%. I have ever encountered twice that I threw a ball on the Abra, and then it popped up from the ball, and then it stayed on the screen. I was like, whoa, I was like totally shocked. Yeah, so far for Galarian Bird, in my own experience, I have experienced that I threw 2 balls, and then the third time I was still given another third chance to actually catch the Galarian Bird. So basically with 90% free rate, there's a 10% chance that it will stay, and a 1% chance that it will still stay a second time. Yeah, so I got that 1% chance, which is pretty insane. But think about this though, 1% chance is actually higher than actually getting a hundo, because a hundo is 1 in 216, which is like 0.4%, 0.46 or 47%, which is very low. And if you think about a Shundo also from the rate, it becomes even crazier. Shundo from the rate, it's 1 in 4,320, which is like very low. Okay, anyway, we are now going to catch our birds. Okay, so the birds, I've already encountered them. I do not have the shiny because I encountered them all on live stream, but you guys will see that the birds will be the ones that will be the hardest to catch, even though I'm using great balls. Yeah, so you can see, even though I'm also trying my best to try and catch it also, you can see, yeah, it's not that I'm not able to catch it at all with me doing fast catch, but we can see that it's working, but it's just that I have to keep trying and trying. Okay, I missed the Zapdos, but let's go to try it one more time again. Let's go with the Zapdos. We will definitely catch it in the order. Yep, my god. So that's this number 4. Okay, got it on 4 balls. That's the most I've ever done. This is the second ball for the Moltres. Okay, third ball for the Moltres. And remember, I'm using great balls, yeah? Great ball is even higher catch rate than using premier balls in raids. But of course, I'm not using any berries at all, not even the regular raspberry. Okay, we caught it. Great. And I think we are done. I think we should be done. Yeah, we got everything. Okay, so that's basically it for the Gold Pass Deluxe for the 30th anniversary. Let's go into type 4-star. Okay, we did not get a single hundo out of the 133 catches, even though, like I said, the minimum IV, they are like 1 in 216, so it doesn't mean that I would be able to get it. So you can see all the IVs at the bottom there. Alright, none of them will be below 10. Okay, just to confirm, because I can see it very fast, but I just want to show you guys. Okay, so none of them are under 10. But we got ourselves like 4 shinies, so that's great. Let's go ahead to take that win for the 4 shinies. Pretty crazy though. Let's see the IVs for the 4 shinies. 3, 4. Okay, they are not so like crazy or whatsoever, but that's basically it, man, in terms of getting all the Pokemon from the Go Pass, including from the Deluxe Pass. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching me do it. I'm going to transfer all of them because they are not really good, and they're going to take up my space anyways. Of course, I'm keeping the legendary Mons, I'm keeping the birds, and also MEWTWO. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, man. If you guys did and want to see my MEWTWO one more time, this is it over here. Alright, definitely remember to leave a like on the video, but much appreciated. Thank you very much, and let me know in the comment section down below what was your best catch from the Go Pass itself. Of course, if you got yourself a Shundo, awesome. If you did not, don't worry, there will always be another chance to get it. Alright, so that's it from me, man. I'll see you guys in the next episode, in the next video. It's time to say goodbye. Yep, MEWTWO. I will not be not trading you away too. We'll keep this MEWTWO. Yep. Alright, so goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.